I'm on the farm today and up here kind of checking on a few things, and I need to go get my Farmall 350 and bring it over. Right here is the mighty Farmall 350, and of course wheels narrowed up and the tire patched. Seems to be holding. They get in here and oops, wrong side. I do this every time. Let me get in here and turn the gas on. You know, it's cool this evening. We have I think the high was around 81, and now that the sun's going down, it's starting to get cooler. You can feel fall coming. Just the shorter daylight at the end of the day. You can just kind of feel fall coming on. Let me see if I can get this thing to start. I just kind of ease out of here in first gear. And then my favorite gear to run this Farmall 350 is third gear. It's just the right speed for me to knock around in and pull wagons. I'll come back. I thought instead of going out across that lane, I'd cut down through here along the field perimeter, and I'll stop down there and give you a little different look of the creek. Mercy. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Massey Ferguson 50 is a whole lot easier to get on and off. Alright, so we kind of mowed this out at the reunion. This was always a popular spot to come down here and hang out at the creek. And there's some still water down here, and of course you can see it's really low, and always some good fishing all the way down through there and up the creek. And but the water also gets up, you know, pretty high in here too, but it doesn't get up in the field. At least I haven't experienced that. Try to count to 5 when I push the clutch in so I don't get a bunch of grinding. Let's keep going. Grass don't look too bad up through there. It just needs to grow about a foot or more between now and Labor Day weekend. But right now they're calling for thunderstorms in the evening as far as the eye can see. There was like a 2-day window to cut this week, but I didn't feel like it was enough coming off of what was a pretty steady rain. So the rattle you hear is not the tractor, it's the fast hitch. But it is 64 years old, so I guess things are going to rattle, but it kind of bugs me a little bit. I backed up here to my hardy 5-foot bush hog because at some point I'd like to get a set of forks that go in this fast hitch where I could back up and hook onto this thing. And I'm still kind of debating adding a wider bush hog, and I've been toying around with the idea of an 8-foot dual spindle bush hog, just something that would fit on pretty much all my tractors. But I don't know, I'd really like a 15-foot batwing for the big Massey, but at some point I'm going to get the little arms that go in there and they'll hook. I don't need the top link. All I need to do is just lift it up, and this thing would make an ideal little bush hog tractor. I really like those front wheels narrowed up. Kind of make a run down through the old orchard, and just trying to put a few minutes on this tractor to charge your battery, kind of keep everything lubed up, if you will. There's some apples on those trees. Down in here in the low ground, again, I'm just kind of knocking around. I probably shouldn't be driving on these fields, but it's my hay and my tractor. I guess I'll do what I want. But we are going to get some second cutting off this field, and a lot of crap I got to clear out of here. I'd like to get rid of that, and got a dead ash back there I need to get out of here. I'd like to get rid of these 2 trees right here, but I have to discuss that with my brother, and these 2 trees down here, and kind of merge this field in with the west field up there. A little bit of giant foxtail growing down in here, and I think this weekend I'm going to come in here with a bush hog and just kind of top it, and you know, this Farmall, I'd like to put, I know it sounds crazy, but I'd like to have an 8, but I'd really like to have a 10-foot lightweight pull behind bush hog, because you know, there's no mass to what you're seeing in here. So as far as coming in and topping these fields, I don't think it'd be a problem even for this Farmall. I think the belt horsepower on this thing's like 38 horsepower, but you know, if I was cutting stuff like that, that'd be a whole different game. Mosey up here on to the west field. I love that Governor. That's one of the smoothest running engines I've ever owned. My 756 gas was a pretty smooth running engine, but I'll come back. This field definitely needs some attention. I tell you, I like the Timothy hay, but it doesn't last. And I'm tempted, it's very tempting, let me put it to you that way, just to plant everything in fescue. Kentucky 31 fescue. I know that's a bad word amongst cattle people and pregnant horse people, but you know, the durability of the grass, you know, from what I've read, and basically what I see all over, up and down the road. I mean, you can't get fescue out of here. It's all in the fence lines, and but it's such a durable grass, and you can spray it with just about anything for weeds and it's very tempting just to plant that stuff and let it rip and just sell it as straight up fescue. And even if it's a mix, if somebody's concerned about it, tell them, assume it's all fescue, and it eliminates a lot of spraying for cereal rust mite when we have a straight Timothy field. And you know, it's very tempting on this fescue. I've kind of resisted taking the Farmall up on the hill, but I may do that this weekend. You know, another thing about fescue hay, it's the American flag. Another thing about fescue hay is there's a difference between feeding it and grazing it in terms of the toxicity, the potential toxicity, and so I don't know. I'm all about you know, working smarter and not harder, and you know, we kick our hay into wagons so we don't have to pick it up off the field. We make one pass. You know, we save labor and time. And a straight Kentucky 31 fescue, very durable. I really think you could plant that stuff and I'd never have to replant it the rest of my life. And so it's very, very tempting in spite of the reputation. But in a lot of ways, you don't have a pregnant horse, and even the cattle. I'll tell you about, you know, I'll tell you the cattle, about the cattle. And you know, in these parts, they call it the fescue belt. And I'm gonna ride back out in this orchard. They call it the fescue belt. And what happens is, where people see a lot of the problems with fescue is when they bring cattle in that are not, you know, born and raised for generations into this area. So, you know, they go get a bull out of Michigan where maybe there's no fescue, and you know, they have trouble with it. But get a bull from North Carolina or Tennessee or Mississippi, I'm sorry, Missouri, which is in the fescue belt, then may not be a problem. It doesn't mean that they're totally immune to the potential toxicity of fescue, but it's minimized. You can read about all that stuff online, but just as far as horses go, this used to be a big gate right through here. As far as horses go, you know, fescue toxicity, and we're back out at our Westfield. Fescue toxicity is not so much an issue. From what I hear, you know, if you got a pregnant mare, it can be a problem in the, I guess, the third trimester. I guess horses have trimesters, I don't know. But all right, I'm gonna cut back across here and put this thing away. I'll come back. Hope you're enjoying the ride on the Farmall. This thing needs maintenance from top to bottom, a tune-up, oil change, everything. And we'll get there. And I'll come back. I got the Farmall in the shed. I back it in here. I pull the TA lever back to low. Sometimes when I back it in here, which is what I did today. And see if I can get out of here. This thing's a little wider than my Massey Ferguson on the back tires, so I kind of got to squeeze around to get in and out of here. But in any event, needed to bring the Farmall 350 from that barn over to this shed. Those are the 2x4s I used to kind of jack one side up at a time, as you will have seen in another video. But just kind of tooling around on the Model 50, coming in here from work. Not much work I could do with the daylight that I have and the rain, the thunderstorms that'll be here tomorrow evening. So it's not like we can cut any hay, and we really don't want to until we get up around Labor Day. But it's kind of a fun tractor in some ways, but it's definitely gets used on this farm. I'd like to hook my Heston hay bind to it and give it a run here at some point. I think that would be a good match for this tractor, and I'm even going to put my John Deere baler on it, just square baler, just for kicks, and if it handles it okay, well, I know I got another tractor if I need it for that. But you know, we got these tires fixed and got them set in, and so this thing's ready for second cut, and we'll be using it to be hustling wagons out of the fields and into the barn. But anyhow, so we use this thing. It's handy as a pocket knife, as somebody said one time. And so that'll be kind of the video, tooling around on the Farmall 350. Hope you enjoyed it. Just kind of getting it over here in the shed, killing some time. Subscribe, hit the like button, comment, and we'll talk to you later.